Oh, hey, Sarah.
Oh, hello, Roxie.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, and hi, everyone. It's great to see you here this afternoon. My name is Roxie. I'm the artistic director at Showplace Theater in Brookline, Massachusetts. And this is not a virtual background. I am, in fact, joining you from the very safe and socially distanced Showplace Theater.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Nolan, and I am the resident artist at Showplace Theater. I'm a puppeteer and filmmaker, and I'm coming to you live from my non-virtual background, my studio in Waltham, Massachusetts.
Thanks so much for joining us today. For those of you who don't know, Showplace is New England's home for puppetry arts. We're located here in Brookline Village, and we've been presenting puppet shows here since 1974. During normal times, we would have a show every single week, a live performance by puppeteers from all over New England, all over the country, and all over the world for youth and family audiences. We also have performances for adults, education programs for all ages, and pretty much any question or inspiration you have about puppetry arts, we want you to come and check us out. Now, during the quarantine times, it's been a little different around here, but a lot of our intrepid puppeteers have been creating and having content online. So on our Puppet Showplace website, puppetshowplace.org, you can find ways to connect to lots of work that they've been doing. And we also have a puppetry performance for adults coming up called the Puppet Showplace Slam. That's going to be on May 16th at 8 p.m. Sarah, you've been doing some puppet slams, right?
I've been doing plenty of puppet slams. Yes, puppet slams are basically a night of short puppet acts for adults and teens.
Wow. And this weekend, you're in the National Puppet Slam?
I am in the National Puppet, we're calling it the Slamdemic.
Amazing, amazing. Well, as you can see, folks, in Brookline and beyond, Puppet Showplace is connected to a world of puppetry that extends in lots of different geographies. And now's a great time to get connected and see what puppeteers are up to. Now, Sarah, today, though, we're really excited for you to share something with audiences. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to see.
Today, I'm so thrilled to be sharing with you a puppet film that I developed and created in 2016. Well, from 2014 to 2016. And it's about 20 minutes. It stars puppets and humans in a forest world, and it's called Treeples. So everyone, get your popcorn.
Oh, back it up.
Oh, thanks, Maya.
Looks like
and
Maya.
Enjoy.
Here we go. Oh, thanks so much, Sarah. Here we go. And on. Yes, we do. And I think awesome. I think we're reconstituting. We've got our popcorn. Sometimes
Okay.
Come on.
So we're ready, Andrew?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. You're good?
What happened?
Live. Everyone, this is a live show.
It's very...
All right. Well, everybody, please enjoy Treat Bowls.
Horses are pretty dumb, you know. Cheetahs are better and faster. My baby sister loves horses. I think horses... So only babies like them. These look like fish with long legs. Emily likes horses too, right? Emily, back me up. Horses are stupid. Yeah. And boring. Yeah. And for babies. Babies. Yeah. 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 I'm not. Horses are not boring. You're boring. Hello? That's impossible. Hello? 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 How did I get Ready?
Ready? Grugudi?
Whoever you are, you can come out. Yipperoo!
Kira! I got her! Kira!
What is this? What are you doing?
We've got you now, Lana! I got her! I've got me!
Whoa!
Tonto baga Lana!
How do you know my name? Great catch, Maya.
But I slowed her down first.
Lana, we called you here. We're the Treeples, or Tree Peoples. I'm Kira. I like to explore. That's Maya. She likes to invent things. That's Zodi, and she loves to play sports. We protect these woods from the forces of unkindness. And we need your help to fight a monster who's rampaging our woods. What?
Mom! There's no time to explain. We'll tell you on the way. Let's go!
These girls are getting stronger all the time. Sorry, Lana, but we have to take special precaution because sometimes you girls run away before we can explain. How did I get in the woods? Exactly. I think we should use a trash cannon next time.
No, I like the net. It's faster.
The trash cannon's better. It's easier to aim.
The net is stronger. Good point, Maya. But the sleeping bag takes too long to set up. Opie.
The trash cannon is the way to go. It shoots further.
The netter is better. It's quiet.
Cannon!
Net.
Cannon!
Net.
Cannon!
Net.
Cannon!
Net.
Look, I like what I like.
And I like what I like.
And if what I like is not what you like, because it's not like what you like, that's okay. We can both like what we like because I like you.
And, well, I like you too. And the net.
Something's up.
Shut up.
Are those monster footprints?
He's been tromping around here.
Quiet now. Let's go home. Hello, Hobble. Come on, Lana. Hop in. There's no way I could fit in there. It looks too small.
Looks are a silly way to make decisions.
If it were about 2 feet wider, it would fit all of us.
Boomer bang!
Whoa!
How many heads?
3.
And how big?
Half a tree tall. Want some juice? It's grape. Thank you.
Oh, Lana. Found it. Treeps, it looks like we've got a blaring boomagus on our paws.
A blaring what?
Lana, the blaring boomagus is a 3-headed, snot-nosed monster rampaging our woods.
I don't see anything.
Boom, boom, boom! He comes and cries, night and day, takes the forest sounds away.
No animal or creature says a thing when boomagus comes to shriek and sing.
Birds stop their cry.
Wind stops its sigh.
Sun stops beating.
Boomagus repeating. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom! Even Maya loses her voice when he comes around. Lana, you're here because you're the only one who knows how to defeat this monster. See? Lana can save the woods. She must sneak like a leaf and stand like a tree.
Stand like a tree? Fight a monster? Me? He has 3 heads. I'm just a girl. There's no way I can do this. This isn't real. This can't be real. This juice isn't even real juice.
We need you, Lana. Please?
I should be home, eating my dinner, doing my homework right now.
Pretty please.
Ninny Tweez. Lana, back me up.
And you guys will be there too, right? Okay, let's do it.
Oh, great. Good. Oh. I got a booga, itchy nose. 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 Moo! Quack.
No sign yet. I've got your back, Lana.
I can do this. I can do this.
There's no way I can do this. Hey! Get out, you big, smelly... That's not good. I have something. I have something to say. I have something to say. Leave these woods, you boomagus!
We did it! Jeremiah, he's gone! Yeah! Yes! Yes! We beat the Boomagas! You did it, Lana!
You're our hero!
Oog buggy. She got a booga, itchy nose. 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 She got a booga.
What happened to you?
I went outside. I have something to say. I do love horses. I think they're powerful and beautiful. I draw colts, stallions, mares, and fillies all the time. This is one of my favorite mares. Her name is Ariadelle. I like what I like and you like what you like. But just because what I like is not like what you like, let's like what we like.
I'm sorry.
I like your horse drawings, Miss Lana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson.
Yay! Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, fantastic. I am a Treeples super fan, and I'm really excited that you shared this today and that you made Treeples available online through your website and the Puppet Showplace Connect page. Since you did that during the quarantine, we've had almost 1,000 people click and view it, so that's really exciting. Let's give Sarah a round of applause. Yay.
Sounds great.
So, Sarah, now we have a chance to talk about how you made this incredible puppet film. So, I wonder if you can take us back first to your initial inspirations, because you made every single thing in this film. What was the first spark that inspired you?
When I describe Treeples, I usually say something like it's basically Xena Warrior Princess meets Fraggle Rock. It's just this really fun adventure film that I wanted to see out there. I think one of the very first inclinations was just knowing that I wanted to make a fantasy movie that starred a live kid and live action puppetry. I really wanted it to be in a forest world, just because I had been doing a lot of research at the time in children's media, as well as nature play and the importance of it and how healing it can be. So I think it was just a big combination of all my influences as well. Children's literature wise, I just love Pippi Longstocking, and Calvin and Hobbes was a huge inspiration. Just this idea of, you're sorting out the problems of the world with your best friend who's a stuffed animal. I wanted that, that kind of play, and the humor of Amelia Bedelia. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think sometimes when we talk about like a signature Sarah Nolan piece, it always has comedy, and it always has heart. So I think that those things really come across in Treeples. So you made this when you were pursuing your master's degree in puppetry arts or puppet arts at the University of Connecticut. And it certainly is a masterwork that you put together.
And with the help of UConn students, I will say all of the crew was University of Connecticut students for the actual principal photography. It was all students except for our director of photography, our production sound, and our producer Andrew Conway, who came up. So
wow. So that's a really professional endeavor for people to be tackling. And so I'm wondering if you can take us through the design and build process of the puppet characters specifically. Where did you start, and what were the steps?
It was a long process, just the development to get to the point of what did I want these characters to look like, and who are they, and what was the world, what was the purpose of this world? Those are some of the first questions that I think about. I don't want to go in just saying I think puppets are fun. I do think puppets are fun, but I'm always asking myself, what is their world like? What is the goal of this world? What is the goal of this escape? And I think that's what I really wanted to answer was, make characters that kind of represent, not only, roles that aren't usually portrayed by girls in the media, like Maya was an engineer, Zodi is a champion or athlete, and Kira is an adventurer, explorer. Those were 3 roles that I had seen over and over in children's media that I love, but were usually portrayed by boys. So I really wanted to give girls a chance to do these roles, and in a really silly way. So I knew I wanted them to be kind of silly and without socialized behavior, really. Because I think that is, the film itself is really geared towards this age group, this 6 to 9 age group, and that's when socialization and role playing starts to happen. And I think the Treeples kind of provide examples of girls who are, independent, smart, and hardworking. And that was the goal. And in order to do that, I wanted them to not only, be in their own world. So I saw the Treeples world as kind of like a way for the girl or the child who needs an escape for a moment to, run away for a little to, get her bearings, scissor her bearings, and then come back, So
one of the things that I think is really great in how you did that is it's true of the blaring boomicus too, right? Like that is a representation in puppet form of the problem of her being talked over, and right. Sometimes that's a problem that's very like theoretical, but when you make it concrete with a puppet with those big teeth, and then you really watch her take it down, it's really exciting.
Yeah, and that was really important. So in developing the characters, I wanted them to kind of be based on animals, but not necessarily you could say, oh, that's a fox or that's a coyote, So I actually have one of the first steps was like developing the idea of the Treeples world. They're there to kind of, as little figments of the imagination help the child along with their problem, and by defeating the monster, a physical manifestation of the problem, she's able to go back to school and be like, oh, well, this isn't a big deal. Not a big problem. But when you're in that moment of someone's interrupting you, or you're not feeling very strong or confident, you just need a minute to escape. It's kind of creating adventure out of that little 5 minutes.
Nice.
Right.
Well, show us your design.
So I have a little design here. This was Kira. And so this was very early on in the process before we did any building. This was when I was still writing the screenplay. And I just a lot of the costume choices were discovered by Krista Weltner. I had a whole design team to help me with kind of the aesthetic. But yeah, I definitely wanted this like Lost Boys, but a little bit of femininity aesthetic. And it's really interesting because you see here, she's got this little muzzle, but in the final build, when you're building, there's so many layers to the process. So this is one version of Kira. This is the first version. And then when we're actually building, I started draping her, and her fur started to look like a beard. Yeah. So, you make choices and you find, oh, this is the next version. This is the evolution of the character. And then you put it in the puppeteer's hands, and that's the next version of the character, right? Until you're finally on set filming and you're like, oh, they're alive.
Yeah. And your puppets are made out of lots of different materials. What's underneath their fur?
They were all created differently. It's really interesting because in creating them, they were kind of like their characters. Like Maya, who's an engineer, she has an eye mechanism. So that was a lot of like my own engineering to figure that out. But underneath them all is basically this polyfoam or Scott foam for the final ones. And it's it's just a soft foam, and it's patterned and glued together. Kind of like you would pattern a dress or something on a figure. And inside there's a mouth plate for each one, and there's a little bit of a grip inside, so your finger has something to grasp onto so you can make them talk.
I wish I was a Treeple.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
But yeah, this is just a standard head skull that's under. But yeah, when you're building puppets, you're really building from the inside out. It's, you're starting with the skeleton, if they have any bones or something to keep structure, and then you're doing the muscle, which is like the foam, and then the skin, which is like the fur, right? And then you're getting to the final elements, which is like features and noses and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you guys shot this. So tell us a little bit about the filmmaking process now, because you were also the director and the writer of this film, and you shot it on location. Like a lot of us may have seen things like Sesame Street; those are filmed in a studio inside, but you actually filmed it on location in the forest. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the steps of making the film.
It's again one of those things that I love to see when I'm in the theater or watching a movie is just the depth of the forest. And I think because we're in a live environment, that really enhanced the fantasy element that Lana really did escape into the woods, because we really were filming in the forest. And there's something about the practical and textural world of puppets that is, it's the same level as the textural world of being in the woods. And it's just so nice when, you're lining up a shot and all you see is depth, right? You just see the trees get smaller, but it's still very dense. That kind of detail we couldn't have done in a studio. And even in the hovel, we had a production designer, Anna Krachun, who helped create the inside of this dimensional space, right? We actually did create this huge hovel that was kind of 4 feet off the ground. And so the puppeteers were scooting around on scooters, and the actor was up on a kind of a platform, so we're filming everything. So it looks like it's, on the ground, but our ground is now 4 feet in the air.
Wow.
So we built this whole hovel just to give it that depth,
Yeah. I mean, you really created all those details of the world, and that really comes across. So we actually had a question, because this is going out live, a question from YouTube about how the Boomakus was made. Was it made out of, the question was it made out of garbage bags and people? So tell us how the...
Oh, that's a great question. I love that question. Yeah, the Boomakus had its own trajectory. Eventually, yes, the Boomakus was made. There's underneath all of the skin of the Boomakus, there are these, it's almost like a 3-legged race. So there are 2 puppeteers in there with 3 legs. So they have 4 legs. So they had to share one leg, and so they walk around like this. Dunk, 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 dunk.
Wow.
And so after that, they have 4 arms. So we had 3 heads. So there's one puppeteer with both of their hands through it, and another puppeteer with another, and able to move the mouths open and close. But the skin itself, yes, it was made by tearing up giant plastic bags and really kind of welding them together with some heat. And we painted them, and I knew it needed to expand. So that was the point, is that I wanted the monster. I didn't want the whole climax of the film to be a violent action, right? Like slicing it in half or something. But I was like, what does she want? What does Lana want? She wants it to stop booming, right? So what if she clogs it? So what if that's the action? So she clogged the mouths, and basically the Boomakus kind of destroys itself because it fills up with hot air. So we actually had a leaf blower that we filled up with hot air. We had a fog machine there, and we filled it with fog and hot air. That's how you were able to see steam coming out after it popped. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. A lot of practical fun.
Yeah. Real practical effects. We had another question from YouTube that was about the puppet voices. Did you record the voices on set or afterwards? How did that work?
Well, some of my background is also in improv theater, and I really love the energy that comes with puppeteers really interacting with each other. And so I did, we got, I think, 4 grants, including the Mr. Rogers Memorial Scholarship in pursuit of this project. And so we were able to hire an on-location sound person. So all of the voices you heard were the actual voices of the puppeteers on set. And I think that really added to the relationships and the chemistry of them. And it was just really nice. And then we didn't have to go back into post and re-record everything.
Everything, absolutely. Well, so now, releasing this film now in the middle of a pandemic, I feel like the themes have they resonate in really different and interesting ways. So what do you hope the impact of the film is for people who are watching it now?
I think right now it's just giving a bit of an escape. I think I know we're all watching screens, a lot of stuff every day, but I think it's, remembering to enjoy a practical world, right? To look outside, to see the forest, to, venture out onto a hike or something if you can. Just, don't forget about the tangible world in this world of virtuality. I think that would be the strongest thing, and also to, when you're feeling, not enough, or that you just, feel free to take time for yourself. I think that's really important, and that's kind of what Lana does. Is she goes out into the hall, when in reality she's in the hall taking a break from the interaction, the confrontation she just had, and summoning up her triples, right, and coming back in order to say what she's thinking. Yeah, it's that like letting that magic and empowerment into your life is so great right now, because we're all being called on to be really brave and to face something that's really hard. Can you tell us a little bit? So stepping aside from Treeples, because in addition to puppet filmmaking, you also are a live touring puppeteer, and you've made many of your own productions, which we present here on stage at Puppet Showplace Theater. So can you tell us a little bit about how else you've explored this theme of bravery and empowerment in your work, in your other productions? Yeah, I'm fascinated with puppets on stage and screen. I think if you're making a film or if you're making a puppet show, you're creating a world. And I think that's why a lot of the work that I do is all very different. So Treeples is a very different universe from my shadow puppet show, Lisa the Wise, or my hand puppet show, Judy Saves the Day. But I do explore this idea of, funny, strong girls and women. I think there's really, as a kid of the 90s, watching television, I just, I really wanted funnier women, I guess, or I was always really attached to funny female characters, and I think that's something that I want to put out into the world more and more, because and not necessarily for girls to relate to, but also girls and boys, and that's what Treeples is too, is just a film that anybody can watch. It's not necessarily gendered either way, and I think that's the goal. Awesome. Well, I love watching your work, and we love working with you to share it with as big of an audience as possible. So as we wrap up, I was wondering, for people who are inspired by your work now, what can people do to support artists like you, or to get involved in puppetry at this kind of weird moment where a lot of live performances has stopped? Yeah, I think the most important thing is to just keep sharing with each other, sharing our stories, sharing the work that we're doing, whether it's in progress or fully finished. I think, just connecting with puppeteers through Puppet Showplace. I got a really sweet postcard the other day from the Pen Pals program at Puppet Showplace Theater, and so all of that is really, really meaningful. And I think sharing stories still is really important. Yeah, and just on that, I've been so inspired by the puppetry community in New England and nationally and all over the world. People have been making full productions on their kitchen tables, and there was an amazing 48-hour puppet film festival with hundreds of entries.
As we mentioned at the beginning, puppet slams are happening all over the country. Those are short form cabaret style puppet acts for adults. Puppet Showplace has one on May 16th, which you can find out more about on our website, puppetshowplace.org/slam. And Sarah, as she mentioned, is performing in the National Puppet Slamdemic this weekend.
Right, that's going to be Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Really exciting. We had a question about Sarah making more movies or possibly sharing more shows over streaming. So coming up at Puppet Showplace this week, we just launched virtual birthday parties. Those are actually with our resident teaching artist, Honey Goodenough. She's been working with how to make the party experience come to life on the camera. So we're really excited for that. As I mentioned, our Puppet Slam is going to be May 16th. And then after that, with Sarah, we're going to start launching some weekly streaming performances, some performance excerpts, also followed by talks with the artist, and then hopefully continue to expand this as we learn more about what's possible. So if you're interested in supporting this work and staying involved, visit us at puppetshowplace.org. You can also make a contribution through our emergency fund, which is puppetshowplace.org/emergency-fund. We have been very fortunate in that through the support of the community in Brookline and beyond, we've been able to support artists like Sarah, continue to keep our staff on during this time. It's a really big challenge, but with your help, it is possible. So Sarah, thank you so much for this time today. It was great to learn more about your process, and you've really inspired me, and I hope it inspired all of you. Have a great day, everyone. Visit us online at puppetshowplace.org, and we hope to see you back here on Station Street one day soon. Woo!